see who are these giants within our communities doing the small things that have a big impact at large. There are 4 categories of awards which will be distributed to the winners here today, but there'll be a total of 7 awards that are distributed or handed out. The judges have selected these winners based on submissions that demonstrate the efforts that individuals take, as well as organizations across the world, to fight against corruption in their communities, in their organizations. We're going to show you videos to give you a sense of what each individual or organization is doing by way of their anti-corruption programs. Thereafter, we'll welcome each winner onto the stage. They will take a seat behind me. And then once all the winners are on stage, we will then hand over the trophies and certificates. So without further ado, the first award this afternoon is Anti-Corruption in the category Academic Research and Education. Let's meet the winners.
My anti-corruption work has focused on researching existing forms of corruption in my country, identifying public perceptions of it, raising awareness, and building capacity. Bringing politicians and technocrats on board and encouraging zero tolerance of corruption by the public has been a primary goal of my work. At the same time, another goal has been implementing good practices and establishing an independent commission against corruption. A challenge that remains in my country is to address effectively the cancer of political corruption by means of legislation and its implementation. One of my major achievements in recent years has been the development of a holistic model for combating corruption that synthesizes the individual, company, and society components. Publishing internationally, whilst at the same time setting up and running a national anti-corruption NGO has been another accomplishment. An interesting experience that provided hope and inspiration for me was 2 summers ago when I was invited to watch a play on corruption, which primary school pupils had written and were performing at their school. Towards the end, addressing their parents, they sang a song with the words, "Be patient and better days for us all are on the horizon." That brought tears to my eyes.
And we hope the honor you receive in Kigali today also brings tears of joy to your eyes. Congratulations, Dr. Maria Krambia-Kapadis. Please make your way onto stage. She is Dr. Maria Krambia-Kapadis, ladies and gentlemen.
We have a special program that we do in the high schools of Tirana and Albania. At the beginning, we had about 5 classes in 3 high schools. But today we have 10 high schools and about 43 classes, more than 1,200 high students that we teach and ask them what they think for corruption. And one of the first years that I teach in this class asks the students, why would you choose to be judges or prosecutors? And one of them responded to me that making money. And from that point of view, I decided that I had to be against this idea and for all these years I worked to change them and to educate that giving justice is a very important work and a very important mission. And but I am hopeful because we see changes day by day, and we see that the Albanian peoples understand that they must change the mode of thinking for the justice that will grow up, our country grow up fighting corruption. I see that day by day the number of the people that say the right things or the truth about the corruption issues is growing up. It's growing up day by day. And this is a very good thing that makes understand that our work is in the right direction.
Doing the research that backs up the facts is Dr. Alban Kochi. Please come onto stage. Dr. Alban Kochi, ladies and gentlemen. Our second category is anti-corruption, but in the field of youth creativity and engagement.
Je suis l'un des premiers lanceurs d'alerte de la République démocratique du Congo. J'ai révélé au monde des agissements illicites, des malversations, des détournements au sein de ma banque, au préjudice du peuple congolais. J'ai perdu mon travail, j'ai été menacé et contraint à l'exil. Ma plus mauvaise expérience et ce qui m'a ramené dans cette lutte, c'est d'avoir un jour, dans le cadre de mes fonctions, avoir été menacé avec arme à feu par mon directeur général qui est le frère de l'ex-président M. Kabila. J'ai lancé l'alerte pour dénoncer les activités qui gangrènent notre société. La kleptocratie, il faut le dire, nous empêche de montrer notre vrai potentiel. Il faut souligner que la République démocratique du Congo est l'un des pays les plus riches en ressources naturelles. J'ai agi ainsi pour montrer qu'avec un peu de courage, on peut dire stop à cette fuite en avant, et j'ai ouvert la voie à d'autres jeunes comme moi de dénoncer la corruption qui gangrène notre société. Surtout le manque d'indépendance du pouvoir judiciaire et de volonté politique maintient l'impunité et ceux qui sont visés par nos révélations. Donc c'est une réelle injustice pour notre pays. La plus grande réussite pour moi, c'est d'avoir emmené ce débat au centre de l'opinion tant nationale qu'internationale, et d'avoir surtout fait de cette lutte contre la corruption un cheval de bataille même de nouvelles autorités qui promettent de lutter drastiquement contre la corruption. Je voudrais remercier ma famille, ma mère, je voudrais remercier PLAF, la plateforme de protection de lanceurs d'alerte africains, Henri Tulliez et William Bourdon. J'aimerais remercier les amis avec qui nous avons fondé la plateforme de lutte contre la corruption qui s'appelle UNIS.
For his being fearless and courageous, Jean-Jacques Lumumba, please join us on stage. He is Jean-Jacques Lumumba.
JMI is a non-governmental organization established in 1945, a huge global movement for young musicians across the world. We have over 60 countries in membership, and we reach out to more than 6 million audiences across the world. And we have more than 75,000 activities happening in the 60 countries where we're operating. Okay, we are very much aware of the power of music as a powerful tool for change, as a powerful tool for cohesion, as a powerful tool for development of communities, but not only communities, but countries, and even on the global scale.
Fair Play, it's a global program from JM International that aims to engage young people in the fight against corruption. It does this by creating an international platform to connect, engage, and empower young musicians. And we offer them training and coaching, and ultimately they perform, bringing their message to the public. Receiving an international award like the ACE Award, it's not only an honor and a recognition of the work that we've been doing for the last 10 years, it's really bolsters not only our organizational spirit to continue this work, but also that of all the musicians, acknowledging them for the work that they're doing. Having an award like the ACE Award gives us not only an opportunity to showcase our work beyond within our sector, within those people who are engaged in the fight against corruption, but it also gives us the will to go on. It says what we're doing means something, that it's appreciated, and it gives us a lot of energy to do more.
Please continue to do more, because there is message in the music. Matt Clark and Melody Zambuko. the team from Jeunesse Musicale Internationale. Our third category is anti-corruption and innovation, the innovative tools used.
Four years ago, when I was thinking about my future profession, and it was my last year of studies at the university, and I didn't know what to do with my life. But then randomly, after volunteering for a few years in Southeast Asia, then I interviewed with a local journalist. They invited me for an interview, and it was the very first time when I saw in my life journalists. And then I heard the first time investigative journalism, this term, and I asked, what is investigative means, investigative journalism? And they told me that it's first of all, it is about human rights and it's about corruption. I said, oh, I love it. I want to tell about one case when suspicious investors came to our country. I asked my first question when I read that news, that who they are, what kind of investors. And I did simple research, and I found that actually that company was about the bankruptcy, and how the company who provided annual reports with $50,000 incomes or loss can invest to our economy more than $1 billion. They won that contract without any public tender. And after 1 month, our government, they stopped the contract with that company just because I showed evidence. And whatever you do, doesn't matter in journalism, it's investigation or just simple reporting news, or you are saving lives and working in a hospital. If you will do it professionally, you always will fight against corruption.
As a journalist, I recognize the story. Some see us as a nuisance, but what you're proving to us, Elnura, is that we are the fourth estate. Elnura Alkanova. Elnura Alkanova, ladies and gentlemen.
SEMA improves accountability of public services by gathering real-time citizen feedback at public offices and delivering this feedback in actionable and easy-to-understand formats to those providing the services. First of all, we give citizens an anonymous and easy-to-use platform to give feedback directly after they've used a public service. Secondly, we give public offices the chance to learn how they are doing in the eyes of their citizens and improve their performance and feel proud of it. Thirdly, we give governments the evidence to make policy improvements for better service delivery across the board. When SEMA started to implement at different field offices, we discovered how important we were for the local stations. For example, when we had to pull out SEMA devices out of some of our police stations and place them at other offices, the officers in charge were begging us to keep the devices at their stations, even if not on, because the mere presence of having a SEMA device in their station created an environment of accountability and service care.
SEMA has collected citizen feedback reports from 45,000 people in only a year and a half, a combination of button presses and in-depth interviews. When offices use our system, we've seen evidence that service quality can increase by 25% and waiting times decrease 40%. And so we're incredibly grateful for the support of the justice, law, and order sector in Uganda for selecting us as their service provider for citizen feedback systems. Together, we'll introduce the SEMA system at 50 more public offices in 2020. Now at only 16 offices, we've amplified the voices of 45,000 citizens. Imagine what we could do at 100 or 1,000.
Because technology does allow us all to get involved and say what we feel. So please welcome Natalie Dykeman and Connor Satley. Natalie Dykeman and Connor Sattler. And the final category recognizes somebody who's dedicated his or her life to the fight for justice, the fight against corruption entirely. Anti-Corruption Lifetime and Outstanding Achievement Award.
I do recall from a young age my father sitting us down together, and I think the first thing he said is, first of all, you're not little presidents. There's only one president, and that's me. But what he said is, what I'm instilling in you are the values that you will grow up and impart to others. Or some people may or may not know, my father became president of Zambia in 1964. It was a very lonely position to be in because not everybody supported what he was trying to do to clean up the affairs of the country. Pre-independence, there was some groundwork done on anti-corruption, but it was mainly handled by the police force. So there was nothing really in the constitution to protect against corruption in the country. So when father came along, I think he saw the need and the gaps. And I think the first institution that was made or brought about was an organization called CITET, which was basically to monitor the economic functions of the country and to prevent corruption in the economic sector. And alongside that, he established something they called the Leadership Code, which enabled or required public citizens to declare their assets and what they owned, so that when they come into power or they have a position in the government, everybody knows, or the government knows what they own. That was followed by the Anti-Corruption Commission, which was further strengthening the fight against corruption. And that was formed around about 1980. And that was also an instrument brought about through the Constitution of Zambia to protect against the vices of corruption. He was very strong about that, to the extent that we as his family or relatives rather were not allowed to take part in business. But those were some of the instruments that he created, and I think he believes that that was the foundation that he laid for further governments to come and cement the fight against corruption.
As you can see, the Lifetime Outstanding Achievement Award for 2019 is given to His Excellency Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, the first post-independence president and founding father of the Republic of Zambia. However, Dr. Kaunda, on the advice of his doctors, is not able to travel to Kigali today. And so, to receive the honor on his behalf is his daughter, Ms. Cheswa Kaunda Silwizia. Welcome, Cheswa Kaunda Silwizia. Now, I know our leaders present today have met Dr. Kaunda, and I think you can confirm that he's not one to be spoken of or spoken to. He will have the last word. And so Dr. Kaunda sent this message to us.
Your Excellency, Mr. Paul Kagame, President of Rwanda, Your Highness, the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Ahmad Al Thani, Your Excellency, Mr. Yuri Lord, Executive Director of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the Acting Director of the Rule of Law and the Anti-Corruption Center. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great humility that I accept the award for the Lifetime Achievement category of the Anti-Corruption Excellence Award. Unfortunately, I was not able to travel to personally receive the award on the advice of my medical team. I have, however, asked my youngest daughter, Cheswa Kaunda Surizia, to receive the award on my behalf through this video clip. Please be assured of my deep-felt gratitude for the nomination. I accept this award on behalf of the citizens of the Republic of Zambia, who allowed me to serve them for many years and enabled me to lay down the groundwork for the fight against corruption in Zambia. May the good Lord, God Almighty, continue to bless and guide you all as you continue the fight against corruption. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
He does deserve a rousing applause. Now, to present these awards and hand over the trophies and certificates, I would like to invite our esteemed hosts and patron to join us on stage to award the winners of the 4th International Anti-Corruption Excellence Award. So please welcome warmly, and I'll call them up in a group before your applause, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Amir of the State of Qatar. He'll be joined by His Excellency Mr. Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda. They'll be joined by Mr. John Brandolino, who's the Director for the Division of Treaty Affairs at the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. And Dr. Ali bin Fetez Al-Mari is already on stage. He's the United Nations Special Advocate for the Prevention of Corruption. Thank you, gentlemen. And now I'll announce our winners, and they will come up to receive their certificate and take a picture. We begin with you, Dr. Maria Krambia Karpadi. I'll call the next recipient up, Dr. Alban Kochi. Jean-Jacques Lumumba. The team from Jeunesse Musicale Internationale. the team from SEMA, and on behalf of her father, His Excellency Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Ms. Chezwa Kaunda Silvisia. Oh, my bad, too keen. Elnura Alkanova, please come up. Next time you'll get Lifetime Outstanding. And okay, representing her father, KK, please come up. I think Dr. Kaunda deserves more noise. And now this is a slightly choreographed part of the program. Your Excellencies, Your Highness, we're going to invite you to please join the recipients in taking a group photograph. We are also going to please ask the President of Namibia, the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, and the President of FIFA to join His Highness and their Excellencies in this opportunity. Thank you very much, Your Highness and Your Excellencies. May I ask you to please return to your seats at the end of the photo opportunity. And the recipients also to make their way back to their seats. So this marks the end of the 4th edition of the Anti-Corruption Excellence Awards, the very first to be held on the African continent, right here in Kigali. We hope by seeing the stories that were shared with you, you are inspired to do what you can do within your own career, community, even your home.